Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in. In week 46 of 2023, we had 144 tournaments with a total of 2,568 players and 9,686 games played. This week, the Space Marines topped the charts with 23 wins and 75 top 3 placings. Their weighted place is 18.5, which is very similar to the 17 they got last week. We are seeing a bit of stability from the Space Marine Codex in terms of their weighted placing, alongside some good results such as second at the Warhammer World Championships, which we will cover in our next tournament spotlight. Chaos Space Marines come next with 21 wins and 43 top 3 placings. Their weighted placing of 7.5 is the second best overall. They have improved even more, and they have the most wins from the big tournaments this week. To further emphasise this point, this includes victory at the aforementioned Warhammer World Championships. They also had multiple high placing lists, showing they have some very competitive armies at the moment. The Eldari can't keep up with the Marines, with 11 wins and a weighted placing of 12.7. They are still performing very well, however there is some competition to win the top tournaments now. The Necrons get 10 wins and a weighted placing of 11.5, which is much better than the 23 they got last week. We know their Codex is up for pre-order on the 25th of November. It'll be interesting to see how their placings change, as they have done quite well recently. The Tyranids see a return to form with 10 wins and a weighted placing of 13.9, which is a massive improvement on the 62.5 they got last week. All of their wins did come from the smaller tournaments, suggesting they are still struggling to win big events. With more smaller tournaments this week, this could explain the dramatic change in their weighted placing. With a rather surprising result, Admech get 9 wins and a very impressive weighted placing of 3.6, the best overall. I'm not sure where this performance has come from, but they have improved considerably with 7 more wins this week. We know their Codex is up for pre-order at the same time as the Necrons. Again, it'll be interesting to see how their results change in the coming weeks. The World Eaters are the last faction in blue with 8 wins and a weighted placing of 10.8, a slight increase for them. Astra Militarum top the green group with 6 wins and a weighted placing of 18.2. The Thousand Sons also get 6 wins with a weighted placing of 7.8, the third best overall. They have now managed to get the third best weighted placing 2 weeks in a row. Tau get 5 wins and a weighted placing of 23.8, while the Orcs get 4 wins and a weighted placing of 26. Both factions have very similar results to last week. The Death Guard and the Leagues of Votann both get 4 wins with the same weighted placing of 22.8. Imperial Knights are the last faction in green, also getting 4 wins with a weighted placing of 15.5. We see one more faction in yellow this week, but none in the red group. There is definitely a more even spread of wins, although as mentioned we did have a lot more smaller tournaments, giving more opportunities for a win. 25 factions managed at least one top 10 placing, with the Space Marines getting the most top 10s with 259. Chaos Space Marines are in second with 108 top 10 placings. They are the first faction in a while, other than the Loyalists, to get over 100 top 10s. The Eldari are still reasonably close behind, with 93 top 10 placings. Unsurprisingly, the Space Marines are the most played faction with 20.05% of all players taking them. Chaos Space Marines are the second most popular faction on 7.32%, followed by Eldari in third on 6.81%. These three are now consistently the most popular, although the 5th place Necrons are bound to see an increase in players when their Codex is released. It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen. This week, Adeptus Mechanicus topped the win rates with an impressive 64%. I would imagine this is a very good week, rather than a newfound competitiveness. They do only have 51 players, so a small number performing very well can give the overall faction a high win rate. Regardless, their very good win rate this week does explain why they got the best weighted placing. The Eldari have been knocked off the top spot of the all-faction rankings for the first time in seemingly forever, getting second with a win rate of 59.5%. As they are consistently at this level, I would imagine normal service is resumed from next week. Chaos Space Marines are just above the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 55.1%, a very similar result to last time. In my opinion, they are clearly the strongest faction at the moment, and they have beaten Eldari in terms of winning tournaments. World Eaters are the first faction in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 53.5%, a slight improvement on last week. The Leagues of Votann come next with a win rate of 51%, followed by Sisters and Drukhari, who both get a 50% win rate. We see a lot more factions in yellow this week, with 17 compared to 11. The Death Guard top the group with a win rate of 49.1%, with Genestealer cults on 48.4%. A lot of the same factions are still in yellow, with Orcs and Tyranids having a very similar win rate to last week. The Necrons do see a significant improvement, going from 40.9% last week to 47.2% this time. The Thousand Sons see a significant drop in their win rate, with 46.7%, which is surprising since they still managed to get the third best weighted placing. The Space Marines and Tau both get a win rate of 46.6%, with Chaos Knights just getting in the Goldilocks zone on 45.1%. We do see the majority of factions in the zone this week, with only one full faction below and 3 above the zone, although most of them are below a 50% win rate. The Eldari top the Leviathan Part 2 win rate with 58.7%. Chaos Space Marines have finally managed to take second place with a win rate of 53.9%. Considering they are performing significantly better than Votan in terms of tournament wins, it is fitting they have managed to get second in the win rate since the last balance change. Speaking of which, the Legions of Votan are now in third place with a win rate of 53.4%. World Eaters remain in fourth with a win rate of 52.1%, followed by Orcs on 51.2%. Chaos Knights are the last full faction in green with a win rate of 50.9%. AdMech have seen a big jump up the table after their very impressive week. They now top the yellow group with a win rate of 49.5%. I'm sure their players will be eagerly awaiting the new codex. The Tyranids have a win rate of 46.9%, with the Space Marines close behind on 46.6%. The Necrons are very close to dropping out of the zone, with a win rate of 45.8%. As one of my main armies, I am excited for the new codex, although a little disappointed we only get 5 detachments, considering the Tyranids and Space Marines got more. The AdMech have also got 5 detachments, which is a little strange as I personally was expecting 6 per book, but it seems it's going to be different for each faction. Overall, the rankings are very similar, with Astra Militarum managing to get in the Goldilocks zone, leaving just the Custodes below. As the 3 chapters in blue have very few players, this week the Iron Hands top the charts with a win rate of 57.5%, although they did only have 11 players. The 5 White Scars players get a win rate of 52.9%, followed by the joint second most popular chapter, the Black Templars, on 52.8%. I would say they performed best this week, considering they have over 3 times the number of players as the chapters ahead of them combined. The Death Watch top the yellow group with a win rate of 47.9%. The third most popular chapter, the Space Wolves, get a win rate of 47.3%, which is a big decrease from the 58.9% they got last week. The most popular chapter, the Dark Angels, come next, with a win rate of 45.3%. They haven't performed particularly well in 10th, but with a seemingly massive range refresh on the way, Dark Angel players have a lot to look forward to. The Salamanders are the last chapter in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 45.1%. The Blood Angels get a win rate of 43.9%, followed by the other joint second most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, with a win rate of 43.4%. Like last time, they still managed very good tournament results, with the second place finisher at the Warhammer World Championships taking Ultras. Currently, Calgar and Ventress are popular competitive units amongst the top players for Codex Space Marines, especially Calgar, as he is a very nice leader for aggressors, who are included in all the top Space Marine lists we have seen since the Codex. The Raven Guard and Imperial Fist are the only chapters in red with 10 or more players. They get a win rate of 35.3% and 33.8% respectively. The second most popular chapter, the Black Templars, top the Leviathan Part 2 win rate with 53.1%. The Space Wolves drop out of the green group with a 49.6% win rate. The Death Watch have a win rate of 47.1%, followed by the Iron Hands on a win rate of 46.7%. The Blood Angels have a win rate of 45.9%, tied with the most popular chapter, the Dark Angels. The Salamanders are on a win rate of 43.9%, with the third most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, on a win rate of 43.2%. The Imperial Fists have a win rate of 42.2%, with the Raven Guard on 42%, and the White Scars on a 36.7% win rate. This week, the majority of the Chaos Space Marine warbands are unknown, so we will go straight into Leviathan so far. The Red Corsairs top the win rate with 61.8%, followed by the Word Bearers with a win rate of 54.7%. The Alpha Legion have a win rate of 54.3%, followed by the most popular warband, the Black Legion, on 53.8%. The Night Lords are the last Legion in green, with a win rate of 50.5%. The Iron Warriors get a win rate of 48.1%, with the Emperor's Children at the bottom, with 44.7%. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.